Okay, 12.4 starts on page 663, and we're looking at similarity in right triangles. And the essential question is, how does the altitude to the hypotenuse of a right triangle help you use similar right triangles to solve problems? And one of the things that we are going to do in class tomorrow is make sure that we can draw an altitude of a right triangle. And so if you turn to the next page, we're looking at page 665, and it's finding the geometric means of pairs of numbers. So if you look right here, it says consider the proportion a over x equals x over b, where two of the numbers in the proportion are the same. The number x is the geometric mean of a and b. And so that's how you set these up. So when it says find the geometric mean in the following problem. So I'm going to set this up as 4 is to x as x is to 25. And I get x squared equals 4 times 25, which is x squared equals 100. If I take the square root of both sides, I get x equals 10. And remember, we're dealing with the length of sides. And so even though this might be positive 10 and negative 10, we're only looking at the positive number, positive 10. So let's look at the next one. And it says find the geometric mean of 9 and 20. So 9 is to x as x is to 20. So I get x squared equals 180. And if I take the square root of both sides, I get x equals the square root of 180. And in the book, it's going to reduce these things like 36 times 5. And the square root of 36 is 6. And I'm left with a 5 in there. But we will do decimals and whatnot. I want you to try the next one at the bottom of this page and number 6, and then come back and check your answer. All right, you should have put 6 is to x equals x over 24. X times x is x squared. 6 times 24 is 144. You take the square root of both sides, and you get 12. So on the next page, it has this diagram about using the geometric means to find pieces of a triangle. And the way we do this is simply looking at these three numbers. And if you look at the triangles, we have this triangle, and we have this triangle. And our proportion ends up to be x is to h as h is to y. And the way this you get this is you can see that in this blue triangle, x is the short side and h is the tall side, isn't it? But when you look at this red triangle, h is the short side and y is the long side. Okay? And so then that's how you get h times h is h squared and x times y is xy. And that's what's in that box right there to the left of this triangle. And so we will be using those to do some solving. And if you turn the page, we'll look at that example. So on page 667, we are looking at this triangle right here. I put a box over there writing so I could write on it without what they did. So I'm looking at, I need to find x. So I know that 2 is to x as x is to 10. 2 times 10 is 20 equals x squared. And I wrote it on the other side, but that's okay. I take the square root of both sides, and I get x equals the square root of 20. Which can simplify to the square root of 5, which is about 4 point something. All right, now I want you to look at the bottom of this page at number 10. And can you find x? So I want you to do this and then check back, see if your answer is right. Okay, you should have set it up as 7 is to x, as x is to 5, x squared equals 35, and the square root of 35 is your final answer. And that is it. So I will see you tomorrow in class.